Welcome to the Sports Fashion Podcast, where style meets substance and fashion becomes a conversation. I'm your host, Deeflamez, a fellow fashion and sports enthusiast. Here we have candid conversation about fashion trends, designs, sports, and music. Join me as we continue to educate, entertain, and strive to push the culture forward. Welcome and enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Fashion Podcast. I'm your host, Deeflamez, and we got a special episode today. First off, I want to say thank you for everybody that's been tuning in and locking in with me on the podcast, man. I really appreciate it. Today, we got a special one. We're going to start off as we normally do with music, and then we're going to pivot strictly over to sports. So if you're not a big sports fan, you know what I'm saying, just bear with me, but we're going to talk music first. At the day of this recording is April 30th, 2024. This morning was crazy. This morning, Kendrick dropped the Euphoria track, the Drake diss. As y'all know from previous episodes, we've been covering the beef. You know what I'm saying? It's entertaining. We already know that Drake came out with the push-up record, which is fire. Then he came out with the tailor-made freestyle, which, you know, he recently took down, you know what I mean, because the Tupac estate wasn't happy with it, which is understandable. But Kendrick came out with the Euphoria today. And let me tell y'all something. For the people that's looking, for the casual fan that's looking for a bop record, a record that they can play and get amped up to, a record that they can play in the club, a record that they would want to play on a car ride somewhere, Euphoria is not for you. Euphoria is not for you. You know what I mean? The record is definitely for the real hip hop fans, the fans that like lyricism, the ones that are really into the double, triple entendres like myself. You know what I mean? The battle rappers. It's really for those people. And I'm gonna get to my opinion on what that means as far as the Drake versus Kendrick. But as far as the record, Kendrick went in. You know, Kendrick did have a slight message for J. Cole. It wasn't like a message for J. Cole, but it was one of those where, you know, he just mentioned them, and he's just like, you know, he mentioned J. Cole in the light of he sees there is three GOATs. So Kendrick does acknowledge the big three. He said he saw two of them kissing and hugging on stage. You know, he says that them two, meaning J. Cole and Drake, they know that he's selfish, so he wants to be number one type deal. He said that, you know, he hopes that they're real friends, but if they not, he's YMW Melly. And that's what I'm saying, for the casual fans, they won't understand what that reference is, but if you look up YMW Melly, he's on trial right now for the murder of his closest friends. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a lot in there. You know what I'm saying? It's a 6-minute record, so I can't go over all the lines and break it down like that. But if you give it a try, if you listen to this podcast and you haven't listened to Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar, I definitely recommend getting a listen. With that being said, it's not enough. It's not enough. This is how I feel about it. When you go against somebody like Drake, right? I think that you can be super lyrical and it's going to be fire for people like myself. But for the masses, it ain't going to hit. And so to the masses, it's not going to look like you did anything for real. For someone like Drake, you got to make a good song. Like the Like That verse Kendrick did on Future and Metro Boomin's song Like That. That was a hit song. It went number one. It was being played in the clubs. It was played in the strip clubs. It's being played during the commercial of the NBA playoffs. You know, it's being played during the intervals of the NBA playoffs, during timeouts and promotions on commercials. It was a hit record. And so that caused for Drake to have to respond because it was a hit record. You dig what I'm saying? This Kendrick Lamar Euphoria, it's kind of just like back in the day, they used to put shit on wax. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like he just put it on wax. It's a diss record, but it's not like a record that does no numbers. And to a person like Drake is going to make a song to where everybody You know what I'm saying? To where everybody listen to it and wants to hear it and wants to hear it in the club and wants to hear it in the strip club and wants to hear it when they're working out, stuff like that. You dig what I'm saying? And I feel like the only way to beat Drake is to make songs like that, to where you can make it a hit, to where now it's like, yo, I can do that. And I think Drake's smart. Drake knows that. And I think Drake is one of those like, yo, for the last 15 years, ain't nobody been writing, ain't nobody, I ain't gonna say writing, no disrespect, Drake, but you know, it is known for you to have ghostwriters, but can't nobody make a better song than me. Make a better song. And I think Drake, that's what Drake is basically saying to Kendrick, like, make a better song to me. Yeah, you can do that lyrical miracle shit, but make a better song to me than me. Make a song that can hit the masses. Make a diss record that could still chart and do numbers. And I think that's the angle that Drake is going to take with him. You know, Kendrick hinted at, you know, knowing some shit that Drake, you know, about Drake, you know what I'm saying, that nobody knows, you know what I mean? He's like, you know, don't, you know, Kendrick said, you know, don't tell a lie on me and make me tell the truth about you type shit. You know what I mean? So it's all kind of intricate things in there. I'm going to give it another listen to see if there's any triple entendres and shit like that. If y'all don't know what that is, don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But I think overall, it's nice to see that hip hop is back competitive again. It's a dangerous game because it could spill over to some street shit. I hope I hope that it doesn't. Damn, I just stuttered like a motherfucker. But I hope that it doesn't. But I think that it's very good for hip hop for two of the biggest artists in the world right now, and have been the biggest artists in the world for the last 15 years, to really be going at it to get competitive again. You know what I'm saying? But I also am not condemning the artists that don't. I saw online somebody said that they better not hear a lighter flicker on Drake's next song. And I'm just like, even Lil Wayne himself said that he's not a great battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? I think Lil Wayne, that's what makes Lil Wayne unique, is because Lil Wayne hasn't had no real beef, no real hip hop beef. Like, you know what I'm saying? People are going to say, what about the Gilly the Kid shit? That wasn't really nothing for real. He didn't make no like straight tracks to aim at him, to, you know what I mean, or nothing like that. Like, it wasn't a public beef or nothing like that. You dig what I'm saying? So Lil Wayne to me is probably the one rapper that probably has went through his whole career without any real rap controversy or really going at anybody or having any beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had the Jay-Z and Nas, you had the Biggie and Tupacs, you had the 50 Cent and Ja Rule, the 50 Cent and Fat Joe, the 50 Cent and Jadakiss, the 50 Cent, you know what I mean, in the game. You had, you know what I mean? So you had Snoop Dogg, and it wasn't even Snoop Dogg, and it wasn't a rap beef, but you had Snoop Dogg and Suge Knight, you know what I mean? You had Dr. Dre and Ice Cube when Ice Cube was going to NWA, but y'all get the point. A lot of these hip hop acts have had beef, and I think Lil Wayne is the only one that really has went through a whole career dominating the sport of rapping, and dominated the genre of hip hop, hip hop music, and rap music. He dominated it without even having to go back and forth with any other artist. You know what I'm saying? This man said that he's the best rapper alive, and nobody went at him, and he didn't have to go at nobody to do that. You dig what I'm saying? So I think that's very unique in Lil Wayne's part. But yeah, overall, I like the fact that it's competitive again. I like that Drake and Kendrick are going at each other. Like I said, I don't want to see it go into the streets. You know what I mean? I don't want to see no violence or nothing like that. I want them to make some good music and keep it at that and keep it moving. You dig what I'm saying? Word. Now, as I'm pivoting, this is the sports part. If you're not into basketball, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You dig what I'm saying? NBA playoffs is going on. Speaking of NBA, as you see, I have an Orlando Magic jersey. It's crazy because they're still in the playoffs. They're right now tied 2-2. At the time of this recording, they're tied 2-2. They're actually playing right now. But it's 2-2. I gotta say this. The fact that I think this might be the second or third game of the Cleveland Cavaliers and Orlando Magic playoff series that's on NBA TV. No disrespect to NBA TV, but it's not primetime TV like TNT and ESPN and ABC. Like, you in the playoffs and you on NBA TV. That is absolutely insane. By the way, for the y'all that are wondering, this jersey, I know y'all seen the white one. The white one was definitely a Penny Hardaway jersey. This one right here, Tracy McGrady. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's only right. You know what I'm saying? Both of them wore number one. Both of them, if they retired number one in Orlando, you could literally retire it for either one of them. Me personally, I would retire number one and then put both of their jerseys up in the Raptors. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's a series tied 2-2. Nobody's really watching that shit for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I caught a glimpse of it the other day. And, respect to Donovan Mitchell, respect to Banchero and all them boys, but I ain't really watching that series because I don't think neither one of them is going to do anything. If I had to pick a winner, I'm going to just pick the Cleveland Cavaliers just because they got the more experience. Donovan Mitchell has been, in the playoffs plenty of times, and that Orlando Magic team is extremely young, but we'll see. It's 2-2, so we'll see. The series that I really want to talk about is this New York Knicks and Philadelphia 76ers. At the time of this recording, they just got finished playing, and the 76ers just forced a game 6. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson had 40 plus tonight. But Tyrese Maxey for the Philadelphia 76ers. Marvelous game. Hit the logo 3 to send it to overtime. Dropped 46 points. Joel Embiid just two games ago had 50 piece on one leg. Like, I love the fact that Philadelphia is really fighting. You know what I'm saying? They're going back to Philly for game 6. So that's going to be an exciting atmosphere to see. I'm interested to see if the New York Knicks fans are going to invade Philadelphia like they did in game 4. Like, because that was crazy how they did in game 4. They invaded that motherfucker. And you would have thought you was at a Knicks game, but they was in Philly. You know what I mean? I am interested to see that. With that being said, I got the Knicks in 6. And argue with your mama because you ain't gonna argue with me. I got the Knicks in 6. Bottom line, I ain't gonna cap to you. Next off, that Dallas Mavericks and Los Angeles Clippers series. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that shit going 7. That series is going 7. I saw the interview with James Harden the other night, and James Harden said it perfectly. Elite shot making. You know what I mean? They had the Mavericks down by 30. The Mavericks came back and took the lead. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, the Clippers ended up pulling out the W with a 5-point win. But Kyrie had 40. Paul George 33. I think Paul George had 33. I think fucking James Harden had 33. Luka Doncic had 29, 10, and 10. Like, that series is very entertaining. If you're a hooper, you love that series. You know what I mean? So I think I like it. I think that series going 7. If I had to pick, I'm gonna go with Dallas. Kyrie Irving has proven that, the tougher it get, the more he rises to the occasion. And I think that Kyrie is going to be the unsung hero of that series for Dallas Mavericks. So I got the Mavericks in 7. So now I have to talk about it. I know I've said over on numerous times on this podcast that Kevin Durant is my favorite player. Kevin Durant got swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Kevin Durant and the Suns got swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves. I have to say this. Anthony Edwards is probably the only person that's going to get me to buy an Adidas shoe. It's not a sad. I know I say that reluctantly because I'm not really big on Adidas. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been the biggest Adidas guy. The 3-stripe thing was never like something that I liked. The only pair of Adidas I ever liked is probably the T-Max back in the day. You know what I mean? But those AE1s, especially the lows, I saw some AE1s, black and red AE1 lows. I got to get them. I gotta get them. Excuse me. I gotta get them. You dig what I'm saying? Those Anthony Edwards ones, AE ones with Adidas. I gotta get them. You dig what I'm saying? So coming soon. I'll definitely show you guys on the pod when I get them, because anybody that knows me knows that I don't even own a pair of Adidas. I don't own a pair of Adidas at all. And I have, it's too many shoes to count. But I don't even own a pair of Adidas. I have 300 plus player shoes. So, and I don't own a pair of Adidas. There's nothing but Jordan, Nikes, and Reeboks in there. And for the ones that be like Reeboks, Allen Iverson and Sephora's. Allen Iverson and Sephora's. You see him. Those shoes that he got on his feet in this painting, you see him. You dig what I'm saying? So Allen Iverson and Sephora's. I got those that he got on his feet. I got the black, white, and gray ones. I got the Kobe joints, the Kobe PE. Yeah, if y'all ain't seen the Allen Kobe PE AI, the Answer 4s, yeah, the black and purples, yeah, I got those. So you dig what I'm saying? So I got a couple. I got a white and yellow pair as well. You dig what I'm saying? And then I got of course I got the Iverson. I got the Reebok Questions. Come on, man, simple. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. You know, so I'm talking about the NBA. But KD, I think we all can acknowledge it's the changing of the guard. It's the changing of the guard, man. For the first time since I think they said 2008. Oh, for the first time since 2008. This is the first. This is the only time that LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry have not reached the second round of the playoffs. One of them hasn't reached the second round of the playoffs. Me personally, I think this is actually a good thing, to be honest with you, because now I think that it gives Team USA this summer more importance. I think that now, like, people are seeing, like, okay, these guys are older now. You know, Bron this was what, year 21 for him. This was year 17 for KD, and year 15 for Steph. So you dig what I'm saying? Like, they older now. You're starting to see that their impact on the game isn't as big as it once was. They're still getting their numbers, of course, but their impact on the game isn't as big as it once was. And so I think that, you know, it's the passing the guard. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I think that that's all, you know, this happens in basketball. You know, I think that the AIs and the T-Max and, you know what I'm saying, the AIs, T-Max, Reggie Millers, those guys, you know, those got the early Vince Carters, like those guys that, like, that era. You dig what I'm saying? Kobe too. You know, that era, they had to pass it to the D Wade, LeBron, Melo. You dig what I'm saying? They had to pass it to them. You know, and they pass it to the next generation. Of course, Steph and KD end up becoming adversaries to LeBron, but in a sense, you know what I'm saying, they passed it. You know, of course, LeBron ended up becoming an adversary to Kobe, but Kobe passed it to them. You know what I'm saying? He passed, you know, Kobe had the 2009 series, Western Conference Finals versus the Denver Nuggets, where they won 4-2. And that was a very entertaining series. If you're a basketball historian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Him and Melo went at it. The physicality of that game was crazy. But anyway, you know, he passed it on. You dig what I'm saying? Iverson passed the game on to Melo because he played in Denver. So, you know, I think it's just a change in the guard. I think that now the question of who's going to be the new face. Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards has the charisma. He has the game. He has the competitive spirit. He has the personality. He's likable. He appears to be clean cut. Anthony Edwards, I think, is going to be the future of the NBA, the face of the NBA. I think there's one person that everybody's forgetting, but I think that he can redeem himself and be in that conversation. Also, Ja Morant. I think Ja Morant could also be one of those faces. I think that, you know, as far as the face of the NBA, I don't believe that Luka can do that. I don't believe that Luka has shown enough personality for them to advertise him the way they would want to. So I would say Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards, and Shea Alexander. I think those three will be the LeBron, KD, and Steph. Not because of the way they play, but just the I call it the Holy Trinity. And for the religious people, please don't get mad. But I'll call those three the Holy Trinity as far as the faces of the league. You know what I'm saying? So Anthony Edwards, John Morant, and Shea Alexander, I think, have a bright future. I love how Anthony Edwards performed in this series against the Suns. You know, game 4 in Phoenix, 40. You got to respect it. You dig what I'm saying? Boston and Miami, I think it's over. I think it's over for that series. I think Boston is going to get Miami up out of there in 5. They play tomorrow. I think also that the Mavericks are going to take a 3-2 lead tomorrow when they play as well. So as far as Bucks and Indiana, they're playing right now, and it's 3-2, and they're playing right now, and the Bucks are up 19. So with no Dame and no Giannis. So I do believe that they're going to end up winning this game, so they're going to end up forcing in Game 6. And so I think that ultimately I do believe that the Pacers may come out of that series. I hope the Bucks do come out. I want to see Dame get back healthy, but an Achilles, I've torn my Achilles before, and Achilles is not nothing you want to play with, so I get that for sure. But yeah, so the NBA playoffs was really going. They're really going. I'm excited to see what happens. I said the last episode that I got the Nuggets in Boston in the finals. And then I got the Nuggets versus and this is where I messed up at. So the Nuggets are playing Minnesota in round 2. So I think last episode when I was talking to my boy Dre, shout out to Dre, you already know, we had got it confused and we thought they could have possibly met in the Western Conference Finals, but they're meeting in the second round. First game is this Saturday, coming up. Game 1 of that series is coming up. I got that series going to 7 games. Ultimately, I want Minnesota to win, but I think that Denver's going to win. As far as the East, Porzingis is hurt for Boston. If Porzingis is hurt, I think the Knicks can get them boys up out of there. I think the Knicks are gonna end the win there. I think the Knicks are gonna beat the 76ers in 6. I think the Knicks are gonna beat the 76ers in 6. And then I think the Knicks are gonna beat the winner of the Pacers and Bucks series. I got the Pacers winning just because of the injuries with the Bucks. I got the Knicks beating the Pacers in 5. With all due disrespect, I don't care nothing about no damn Pacers. And with that being said, you know, if Porzingis is hurt, I think that the Knicks will meet Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. And if Porzingis can't go, I have the Knicks in 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Those are my predictions. This is a fluid podcast, so you know, it is what it is. It's a full podcast, so my predictions may change. I don't give a fuck. You get what I'm saying? So I don't care nothing about that. With that, moving along. Team USA is coming up this summer. I know you. LeBron James is headlining that Avengers squad. I don't know if you guys saw, but LeBron James talked about, you know, his future in the league and how he said he's just focused right now on getting back to his family, taking some time and getting ready for camp in Vegas for Team USA. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Me and my boy Drake spoke about it. I don't think that LeBron can do anything to enhance his already GOAT debate. I mean, obviously, as you guys know, my favorite player of all time is Allen Iverson. But I think the GOAT is Michael Jordan. You dig what I'm saying? So, I think that LeBron James is solidified as number 2 all-time basketball player. I do feel like I do feel like, he can potentially harm his resume, for this, for the second year in a row, he done got swept. He done got swept for the second year in a row. You don't want that on your resume. That has been an argument for LeBron James fans for so long that, he ain't get swept like the rest of them. He has been swept before, 2007 finals, San Antonio Spurs, but he has been swept before, but, swept, he had an impeccable record in the first round before, was it last year? Before the year before last year. He got beat in the first round. That was his first time. Last year he got swept in the Western Conference Finals by the Nuggets, and this year he getting swept again by the Nuggets in the first round. So I think LeBron James, if you think about that, you don't want that on your legacy, because then all you can do is diminish it. I think that he's at the point where he's so high up, he's peaked out as far as accomplishments and what he's done. So I think that he's running the risk of potentially harming his legacy. Kind of just like how a lot of people hold those two Washington Wizard years against Jordan. I think people might start holding these late LA Lakers years against LeBron. So I think that's something he should think about moving forward. But then again, at the same time, you averaging 25, 6, 7 in year 21. There isn't really any severe decline. So it's like, why would he? You know what I'm saying? Why would he? His production says he's still a max player, a super max player. So I would definitely say LeBron James should consider that. You dig what I'm saying? Also, Kevin Durant, Suns. What are y'all doing, yo? Y'all got Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and KD. You add up all their salaries for next year, that's $150 million. Y'all have $150 million tied up with 3 players, which is more than 14 NBA teams' whole payroll for next year. There's 14 teams in the NBA next year that's not paying $150 million in total salary to their players and staff. The Phoenix Suns have $150 million tied up with just 3 players. Y'all need a fucking point guard, bro. And I'm pissed off because Kevin Durant's my favorite player. And I'm pissed off because he's in a situation where it's like they have scoring all over the place. They need a fucking point guard. Devin Booker is not a fucking point guard. Bradley Beal, either you gonna step up or get the fuck out the league, bro. I understand, the fact that he's been hurt and he had a terrible year. He just needs a healthy offseason to get back right. I don't give a fuck about none of that. If you on the court, hoop. Joel Embiid is on one fucking leg and still dropping 50. I don't care nothing about no goddamn injury. Bradley Beal is fucking trash until further notice. Bradley Beal is fucking trash until further fucking notice. Because that shit is unacceptable. 9 points, bro. In an elimination game after you just said that you ain't never been swept in your life and you ain't gonna let it happen. And then you go out there and drop 9 points, bro. Bradley Beal is fucking terrible, bro. KD don't deserve that, bro. Shout out to Devin Booker. Devin Booker didn't have a great series either, but at least he had 49 in the last game. He gave it everything he got. He had 49 in the last game. He went 20 for 21 from the free throw line. Kevin Durant finished with 33. Kevin Durant was giving them buckets the whole fucking series. Kevin Durant's the only person that showed up the whole goddamn series. Phoenix Suns need to get that shit together, bro. Because that shit is so goddamn annoying, bro. Seeing someone as elite as Kevin Durant, bro, and then people disrespecting him because of what's going on. I don't give a fuck about none of this. You know what? I'm getting it off my chest right the fuck now. People mad that KD went to Golden State. I'm gonna say this: the NBA is a business, right? The NBA is a business. So I'm gonna just give y'all. I'm gonna just see if y'all understand this. The NBA is a business. Kevin Durant knows the NBA is a business, right? He knows it's a business. Nike and Adidas are two businesses, right? So if Nike had the chance to do something that could eliminate Adidas from competition, and like it'd be legal, and they could eliminate the competition. They could get rid of Adidas, and it would just be all Nike. I believe Nike would do it. People be like, "Oh, it's competition. We love competition." In business, you don't love competition in business. In business, you prefer to be the only thing rocking. Because guess what? If you're the only thing rocking, that means everybody got to come to you. That means you getting a lot of money. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, like, if Nike had the chance to eliminate its competition to where everybody had to go to Nike for everything, you know how much money that would bring business-wise? That would be smart as fuck. And if they could, they would do it. You dig what I'm saying? What I mean, and I'm bringing that back to Kevin Durant, is Kevin Durant, he said it himself, it's not his job to make the NBA competitive. His job is to go hoop, and whatever team he plays for, do his best to make sure that team wins. That's what he did. He went to a situation that was conducive to winning. He wanted to win so bad that he was willing to do whatever it took to win. And that's what he did. And that's what I don't like about people just condemning him. Oh, he went to them, he weak as hell. I was like, no. He looked at a situation. They just lost in the NBA Finals, by the way. He looked at a situation and said, yo, they just lost. I lost to them. I want to win. They want to win. I know if I join that team, we can all win. So I'm joining that team. Simple as that. Simple as that. There's a reason why they flied. That 73-9 team flied to Kevin Durant to recruit Kevin Durant. Point blank. So y'all kill me, and then y'all don't tell me about Brooklyn. Brooklyn, all the COVID shit. Kyrie was never there. James Harden showed up fat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talks about how in the playoffs 2021, if Kevin Durant's big toe wasn't on the 3-point line, how the Nets would have went on. Y'all forgetting James Harden was hurt in that series, and Kyrie Irving was hurt too. James Harden came back and played, but he wasn't himself, and Kyrie didn't play at all. So he really didn't have no Kyrie during his tenure there, because Kyrie set out, you know what I'm saying, with the COVID shit. And then James Harden came there, and James Harden was like 400 pounds. Not literally, you know what I'm saying, but he came there out of shape and fat. You dig what I'm saying? So he wasn't the real James Harden. And then he goes to Phoenix with no point guard. No point guard. Chris Paul should have stayed in Phoenix. They should have kept Chris Paul. They would have had a point guard that can facilitate the offense. So guess what? Devin Booker can do what he does best and focus on scoring the fucking basketball. Kevin Durant can do what he does best. Focus on scoring the fucking basketball. Bradley Beal can do what he does best, which is fucking score the basketball. We don't need no Devin Booker trying to be a facilitator. That's not his game. Y'all noticed the best game of the series he had was the last game, and he made up his mind that he was just going to score. If we don't have a terrible game from Bradley Beal, the fucking Suns win game 4 and don't get swept. The Phoenix Suns need to give my boy KD a point guard, man. Stop fucking bullshitting, bro. Stop fucking bullshitting. Give my boy a point guard, man. That shit pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. That shit annoying me. Anyway, bro, before I can rant about that forever because that shit pissed me off. But anyway, moving right along. WNBA. Diana Taurasi, stop sounding like a hater, yo. Stop sounding like a hater. You know, for the ones that don't know, Diana Taurasi, one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time. You know what I'm saying? She had things to say about Caitlin Clark, you know, saying that, you know, she's in for a rude awakening, and and all of that stuff. And she also came out and said later on that she feels like the new fans are sensitive. Listen, Diana, like, you put a lot of work into the game. Like, me personally, I think Diana Taurasi is the greatest women's basketball player of all time, in my opinion. You put a lot into it. I feel like if I was her, if I was in that position, right, I would want to push like the new generation forward. Like, I would want. I'm seeing that. Oh, okay, the new fans, everybody's galvanizing behind this talent, right? And that talent is bringing eyes to the WNBA. So guess what? Those same eyes that are watching for her while she's playing, they're going to see the Asia Wilson's playing. They're going to see, the speaking. I was about to say Candace Parker, but speaking of Candace Parker, I'm going to talk about her in a minute. Congratulations on your retirement. We're going to speak about that in a second. But it's going to bring the eyes to the WNBA game. Caitlin Clark is bringing a whole new fan base to women's basketball. Angel Reese is doing the same thing. So it's a whole lot of eyes. The numbers are showing it. 601,000 was a record for a WNBA draft viewership, and then they just brought in 2 mil. So if I'm Diana Taurasi, who's obviously on her way out, she's 40 years old, on her way out, I will be trying to uplift these young women and promote them as well to push the game forward. I understand what she's saying from a veteran's perspective, like, oh, and I get it, she's still playing, so she's still going to be a competitor of these young girls. But at the same time, I would be trying to promote that, because I know that's going to bring higher viewership, bring in more dollars mean these salaries, these sponsorships, these salaries for these women playing go up. You dig what I'm saying? So I think that that's hater shit. I don't think that she's a hater. I think that's just hate in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it's jealousy, because she has nothing to be jealous of Caitlin Clark for. Everything Caitlin Clark did, Diana Taurasi pretty much did anyway. Diana Taurasi won multiple NCAA championships, so what I'm saying, there's nothing for Diana Taurasi to be, she's won it all. She's won WNBA championships, WNBA league MVPs, NCAA championships, like scoring titles. Like, I think she's the all-time leading scorer in the WNBA. So, there's definitely no jealousy there. But I would definitely say that, I feel like she should definitely take the stance of promoting these young girls, because the viewership is going to come from these young girls. And with the viewership coming from these young girls, all the older women, the veterans that's been in the WNBA, they're going to now get these eyes too. So now Asia Wilson, I'm saying her name wrong, but Las Vegas Aces, big, saying fire, went from South Carolina, WNBA MVP, like, she nice, what I'm saying. Now women like her are going to get the Breanna Stewarts, they're going to get the notoriety and the views just from the new fan base coming to see what's going on in WNBA from these new young girls. So I think that Diana Taurasi should definitely be promoting that, and just understand that. You dig what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong, I understand where you are coming from with the whole, as a veteran, she's going to be a rookie, she ain't going to come in here and do like this. But it's like, they said that about Bron. They said that about LeBron James. We see how that turned out. They said that about KD. He too skinny. All this hype about KD. You see how that turned out. They said that about Steph. He too small. He's too frail. He ain't gonna last. You see how that turned out. Like, it's a trend, like, to sit there and hate on these potential greats. Like, nah, like, just promote these girls, uplift these girls. You know what I'm saying? And take advantage of it. Take advantage of it, because it's going to be new viewership on the women's game moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, in the future, there's going to be another star. You're going to be long gone. Then Diana Taurasi is going to be long gone, and there's going to be another star that comes there. Her name is Juju Watkins, and she's going to take it to another level. So I think that the veteran girls should definitely show some more support to the Caitlin Clarks, Angel Reese's, Camila Cardoso, and all of those, Cameron Brink, like, what I'm saying, show more support to these young ladies, because these young ladies are now bringing a whole level of viewership, a whole level, you know what I'm saying, a whole different fan base to y'all sport. And the numbers are reflecting it. So if I was a veteran, I'm like, yeah, I want y'all to be successful, because if y'all be successful, the more people are going to watch. And guess what? While they're watching you, they're going to witness me busting your ass. Facts. They're going to witness me busting your ass. Everybody loved Anthony Edwards. He was having a phenomenal year. But doing what he did in this playoffs against Kevin Durant definitely upped the notoriety that he was getting. Doing it in the playoffs against one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Anthony Edwards performed well. Very well. Anthony Edwards was the best player in the series. That included Kevin Durant. So I think that, you know, the veterans should definitely embrace the youngins, just like Kevin Durant embraced Ant Edwards. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James embraced Jamal Murray. You know what I mean? So I think that Steph Curry embraced De'Aaron Fox. You know, so I think that in the women's game, the veterans should do the same thing, especially someone of the Diana Taurasi's stature. Like, you're one of the greatest ever, so you should definitely be one of the ones that should be putting a stamp on these young girls. You dig what I'm saying? So that's my piece on that. For everybody, if y'all don't know, I will be moving to Texas within the next few months. I'll probably be moving to Texas here in August. Quick update. Due to me moving to Texas, if y'all don't know, I am in the military. So due to me moving to Texas, I'm currently looking for a studio. I'm looking for a studio to record the podcast so that I can have my in-person interviews. That's coming soon. I'm starting next pod. Oh, I'm not gonna say next pod. Maybe in a few pods from now. But just so y'all can be prepared for it, you know, for the people that are actually watching the visual on YouTube, this is more for you guys. But I will be starting a new segment of the show called Sneakers of the Day. And they won't be the sneakers that I might be wearing. It might be sometimes the sneakers that I'm wearing that day, or it's just a sneaker of the day. And I'm going to pick a sneaker for every pod to take time to talk about. So that's a new segment that's coming soon. So you guys look out for that. Also, I will be having merch coming. So you guys look out for that for sure. But I got a lot of exciting stuff coming, man. Lastly, before I get out of here, because I got some stuff to do. But lastly, for everybody that don't understand fashion, don't understand the sneaker culture, this is coming from a personal place. I had a conversation with someone, and it pisses me off. Everyone that knows me knows I'm a sneaker, fashion, and sports enthusiast. I live it. This is not just a hobby. Like, I live it. Like, it's probably unhealthy how much time I spend looking at sneakers, buying sneakers, looking at clothes, buying clothes, you know, watching sports, listening to music. Like, it's probably an unhealthy amount. But it's therapeutic for me, so whatever. But it's a lifestyle. When I started this podcast, you know, I said in the interview, if you guys haven't heard, listened to, or seen the interview, go check that out. But as I said in the interview, this is a lifestyle. When I started this podcast, I wanted people to hear the common person's voice and opinions. I think that a lot of my opinions and a lot of my views on certain things, a lot of common people share them. And I want you guys to know that I'm no better than any of you guys. I'm a regular person. I put on my pants. I breathe the same air. I bleed just like you guys bleed. I want you guys to know that, you know, if you be consistent in what you do and you're passionate about what you do, don't let the lack of notoriety deter you. I know this is only episode 8, 9. I don't even know anymore. You see it in the title. But even for me, being this early in the game, I've seen some tough times. You know what I mean? The viewership not being where I wanted to be. Understanding that, you know, I'm just not beginning. And, you know, for anybody that wants to create content, whether it be a podcast, whether it be whatever, you know, vlogs, blogs, whatever it is, that understand that you just gotta be consistent. You know what I'm saying? I just researching the podcast game. I saw that the average length of a podcast is 7 episodes. Most podcasts don't make it past episode 7. So, you know, just being consistent. And most podcasts don't hit 1,000 views until they're like it's like 34 episodes or something like that, segments. And so, for the ones that are thinking about creating a podcast, thinking about getting into content, man, just understand that just be consistent. Be consistent. You know, and there's multiple ways you can get on. You know what I mean? There's multiple ways you can get on. You might not pop until your 50th or 60th piece of content. You might not pop until your 200th piece of content. But, you know, just be consistent. Be consistent. Continue to be creative, and you will pop at some point. You know what I'm saying? And for the ones that like to condemn people for popping after somebody else helped them, there's nothing wrong with helping people. You know what I mean? Like if you have a big platform and you fuck with somebody, it's not helping somebody is free. Helping somebody is free. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, you know, I look at it like, you know, I'm never gonna be a hater, and I don't think any of you guys should either. So I think that you guys should just support each other. For the people that want to do this content, be consistent. Don't worry about the numbers. You got to make sure you have a passion for it, and just be consistent, man. Be consistent. It's going to be days where you're not going to want to record. It's going to be days where you're like, oh my God, what's the point of this? I'm not getting no views. Keep recording. Keep being creative. Keep pushing. Your time will come. Because guess what? At some point, you will pop. You just got to keep going until you do. With that being said, man, I'm up out of here, man. Like I appreciate everybody that came through today, man. Again, you know, we on this journey together. You know, the Sports Fashion Podcast, man. I'm hoping that this becomes a major platform one day. I appreciate everybody that makes it to this part of the video. For the ones that do make it to this part of the video, I want you to comment the green check emoji. I want the green check emoji. If you make it to the end of this podcast, to the end of this episode, I want you to comment the green check emoji. If you're listening on streaming services, you know what I'm saying, then definitely please leave a review. I appreciate everybody, man, for rocking with me. Again, my name is Deeflamez. This is the Sports Fashion Podcast. Please follow the Sports Fashion Podcast Instagram.
I can't lie, I feel blessed.
Please follow my
I can't lie, I feel blessed.
Instagram at Deeflamez,
I can't lie, I feel blessed.
FLAMEZ_. You dig what I'm saying? And with that being said, remember, the only thing that we all have is time. Don't waste it. I'm gone.